Hey guys, welcome back to TrainZ. Now, what you just saw there is a preview of what we have just completed. That's it, that was the finished map there. Now, what today's episode will be is finishing off all the little bits which should have been done earlier on, which I just missed out by accident or something. Now, the first thing I noticed when I ran the trains the other day, when we were doing the session, was this area here, down the freight line, doesn't have any scenery down it at all. I don't like that. You can see how bland it is. So today we're gonna finish that off. So it's kind of a build episode today, really. And at the end we'll just have a quick look at what we've actually done. There will be one more episode. Now originally it was going to be one long episode, but it was so long that I decided to split into two. So what we're doing here, we are putting lots of grass and bushes and things. Now that's going to be a big theme today. Now I've tried not to put too much of this down previously because I wasn't sure when we added all the other scenery what that would do to the GPU, what impact that would actually have. But honestly, it runs absolutely fine. There's a few little stops here, but it doesn't always show on camera because sometimes I notice after I filmed it stop-start, but when you're actually viewing it on the screen here, it's perfect. So that's basically what we're doing. We also lower the track a bit as well because it's got the ballast on it, this track, all the way around, but I just don't like it. So I've tried to lower it as much in places, some of it on camera, some of it off. So you see the wooden bits, why cannot I think of that? You know what I'm on about, yes. Brain freeze. Oh well. So you see that, but you don't see the ballast. Yes, that's it. That's what I'm trying to say. You get what I'm trying to say. But the essence of this line, though, is it's not used that well or that much, and so I've made it pretty overgrown down here. Unlike the main line around the corner there, which is there's no grass growing on the tracks and stuff, but I want it a bit more filled in along here. And you'll see it as the episode progresses. You'll see it becomes more overgrown, and you know there's that one little tiny train which goes up and down and does its delivery, but that's pretty much it, you know. And maybe because the double tracks are there, it was much bigger once before, it isn't now. And this siding was once used, but no longer. That's it, more trees everywhere. So I have tried to do a little bit of thought into this, which is why I've got the menu on the left down with all the bits I've already pre-found. One of the reasons it takes so many cuts on this and so many edits is because I'm always looking for different scenery and things. But even so, today's episode, how long did it take? About 6 hours to record this. I mean, just to actually play it, to do the build. There were so many tiny little things to do. But you're going to see most of them. I'm giving you the essence here, what I actually did. So we put more bushes and most of the spline. We use the spline ones because they're slightly low quality, and we can use them for a background. And then we can put some more high detailed bushes and stuff on top of that. Now we're going down the field here. Now this is an important field as well because in that corner where the village is, we have a camera looking straight across there to where the trains run. So that field is the first thing you see. So there's got to be some detail in there. Now also on the session last week, yes, after that, I've actually set up another train to go round the outskirts, which we didn't do. One more, you'll see it later on. And we're using the figure 8 before on that track, and now we're using the circle as well on the outside. So I put a bit of scenery down there to sort of, again, you don't really notice what you haven't got until you ride on a train with it. Yes, you notice it on the sides and it looks too empty, but this is already looking far better. With the grass and the stuff, it gives me a much bigger feel of what I wanted. We put some bushes around here, a hedge, following around this road here, because it is meant to be a field, and we're going to put some horses in that field later on as well. Now usually if you press shift you can actually place something wherever you want and it won't affect anything else, but for some reason I had a couple goes there and I was pressing shift and it still didn't want to do it. So click, 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 nope. So once again, as I said, I'm using some of these hedges. It looks, shall we say, uniformed at the moment. It's very samey, but then I use the individual hedges on top of those later on to sort of give them a more individual sort of feeling. But honestly, I'm fairly happy how this has come out. I'm also relieved because it's a bit of a chain around my neck. I do feel sometimes that trying to get an episode out for you guys every week of this, when it takes so long to do, is and I do need a rest, so I'm going to take a couple of weeks after this, but I have ideas as well what I'm going to be doing next time, and I'll share them with you guys later on, or maybe next episode I'll share them with you. When I started this episode, right back at the beginning, when I set myself some tasks, I wanted a number of trains to run around it by themselves, stop at the stations, and specifically I wanted to use a portal and a turntable. And I wanted that train to be able to go up and down, around, and do its thing without stopping. And it does. So all the stuff I've achieved, I wanted to do, I've actually achieved now, which is a good feeling. So on the next series, I'm going to be setting some new tasks. And as I say, I'll let you know exactly what they are. I've thought of some. If you have some ideas of what you'd like to see on the next one, maybe scenery wise, or where you want it to sort of be set or something like that, or if there's a session idea, you have an idea, something in a session you like to see, like you want the trains to be able to do X, something, then do put that in the comments, because I can't 100% say I will add it in, but I'll certainly think about it. Now, once again, we're up in the milk factory, the processor, dairy, I suppose, and I wanted to give that feeling again of, or I suppose all the way around here, it's just not looked after so much. And so, adding all these bushes and things is a good way of doing that, because when everything's new, you don't have all these weeds and stuff growing, but later on, if they're not looked after, they're just stinging nettles, all kinds of things, it just grows everywhere. So now I'm happy with the performance, because this is right at the end now. I'm happy to put all this stuff in, whereas before, as I said earlier, that I was worried that what hit it would actually take. Some of those are going to come back out again. I think there's a couple too many there. We're actually going to put some bigger ones in as well. Actually, I'm trying to do this as quickly as possible. I choose one, dot it about everywhere. I choose another one, dot it about everywhere, rather than do one by one. And now, what I didn't put on camera, which I'm disappointed myself with, is later on I repaint some of the textures here. When I put the bushes and the grass down, I put them on just the texture I'd already cut, the concrete texture, but it doesn't always work. So I painted some of it green to go with the actual bushes, and that works so much better. Again, later on you'll see that. On the end of this episode, we will do a quick run round of just an overview from the top, with just me looking over everything. And then next episode, the beginning of that, we have a proper look at everything, and then we're going to run some trains. So one of the things I said I was going to do is put lights and seats in here. And so obviously that's what I'm doing. I'm going to show you a few of them. I won't show every last one I put in, just to give you the idea what I did. But I quite like this wooden seat. I can imagine sort of a sign where the station is being put on the back of it. I do like them with just wooden paint, painted wood. Maybe I should put some people actually sitting on them. But right, so I grabbed that seat. As you can see, I'm going to use them down here because I want to put some seats down here as well. And exactly similar to the other one, I said I was going to change the lights on this one, and I will do that today. I found something slightly more appropriate than those white lights, which are, they're okay, but they're a bit small and they're probably older than the 60s. So here we go. That's it. That's what we're going to be using. Again, I'm not going to put everyone last one in front of you. I'm just going to put a few in, and you get the idea. But I think they work a lot nicer than the white lights. Now, what I have noticed, on TrainZ you are able to change the environment, so that's like rain, sun, whatever, and also the time of day, so you run it at night. They put out light, but they didn't put any light, they didn't put out any sort of light on the ground, so it's possible that I haven't actually put them high enough, so that is actually lower in the ground at the moment. I'll have to have a look at that. Back to the bushes. And I'm not joking, I spend hours putting these things in. And then I spent hours editing this as well. But I figured, the thing I figured was that I've gone this far with this board, it would be a shame not to complete it. There's always going to be things I could still do. I looked above and I looked at one of the fields is massive in the middle. I was thinking, oh, maybe I should put something in there. But you have to at some point say, no, that is finished now. I've mentioned this before. I write music, and with that, you keep editing the tracks, editing, and you can just carry on constantly, and it can be never ending. So you just have to put a line under it at some point, just so that's it. But one of the settings I was thinking, I will tell you this on the next one, it's going to be an end to end. There you go, that's something. It's not going to be round circle like this one. And every maybe couple of boards we're going to have a tunnel, and then each of those two boards, or maybe one board, two boards, doesn't matter, will have different setting in it. So maybe one's in a town, maybe one's in the coast or something. I haven't quite worked out where each one's going to be yet, or how long. But that's the sort of thing I'm going to go for. So it is an end-to-end. Maybe with some sort of main line or a few different branch lines as well. I haven't decided much else on that yet. But I have set an idea in motion about what I want to happen within that. So once again, I'm putting more grass up here. I really did go for this. Mostly because, as I say, I do want this to feel that it's just not used very much. And if you notice some of those tracks coming off the turntable there, they're off the ground, so I do fix that as well. That annoys me because when the canvas is going for the left, about just where the angle was there, so from one of these pylons heading down, so when the train comes up there, you look at it, but all I see was the track in the ground, off the ground. So one thing I notice I do a lot, I do put them up, but I lower them down because they're quite tall already, and I'm not quite sure if they would be that tall in this sort of setting or not. And also what I did later on, the places where you got an entrance here across. Now I put grass there at the moment, but I do change that to take the grass away where the cars would, because the cars or the vans, whatever, the trucks, they would trample that grass down, so there's no point putting it there. So it's sort of you'll notice an entrance. At the beginning of next episode, we do run the freight train, the milk train there, and you'll see the scenery a lot better from that angle where the train is. It's all recorded. It's all done now. Just got this voiceover and the next voiceover to do. Now this is the single line. I've already changed the texture, and we are going to build this up quite a bit because again I want it in really overgrown, a branch line going off into nowhere. It goes off to a portal, but when it feels like it goes off to wherever it's going, but again, it's just not used. It's off the main line. And later on, well, again, the next episode, I've got the camera angles coming from the side here. You really do see the grass high up, because I've kept the camera down very low. It really does make a difference, when you add the grass in. Now, I do know for next time now, I can do it while I'm building that specific scene. I don't have to worry as much as I did this time. But, I bought this game at Christmas, and this is my first big build. I did a practice table, which you guys never saw, which I learnt how to play the game, how to build it, and that was it. After that, I just went for it. And I have to say, it has been fun, and I felt the pressure at times where I've had other things I needed to do, but then I feel that I should get the episode out. And it's not like Transport Fever, I do a half-hour, 1 hour recording, then I have 2 or 3 edits within 10 minutes is done. With this, I need to get all the assets ready, record everything, then edit it down, then render it. I generally then render it so it's a video. Then I do the voiceover, and then I put that back into the editor with the original video and the voiceover I've just done, render that down, and that's the finished video. And it takes a long time. In that area, someone said that maybe I should put some wood. So now we do have some woods over there, some trees and stuff over there. But I did add a lot more, and I maybe don't see it enough on this episode, but later on, hopefully, because I've got a train running through there now. But actually, next episode you will probably see it. Again, look, one thing about this grass is whatever angle the ground is, it's flat, so you have to lower it down, because otherwise you get floating grass, which isn't good. Now, this grass obviously isn't on the spline, but I found it's slightly better quality than the one which is on the spline. So I've used the spline one for more backgroundy stuff, and I put a lot of this JVC grass here. It's number 12 I'm using, isn't it? Once again, we can look at that track is up in the air, which it starts to annoy me the more scenery I put here, so I start to lower it. Some of the lowering I do on camera, some of it I don't. But those little looks, I'm actually looking while I'm doing the scenery. I'm actually looking at that track and so we put lots more finer grass in here. And once again, this is the factory area, and I said right at the beginning that I wanted this looking like it just wasn't looked after. You can see it just raised off the ground there, that track, can't you? It's so frustrating. Here we go, lowering it down a bit. But I do more than that. I go pretty much around that whole board and actually lower as much of it down as possible. It's funny. When I started off, I kept the board on one height. I did that specifically so the track could just be laid and it wouldn't be a height problem. But even so, it was. And I still don't understand how that actually happened. Because I didn't, at the beginning, adjust the height in any sort of way, but I put the track down, it just either floated in bits or wasn't in others. It's not a massive issue. It's that track's off the ground as well, so that will be updated later. Now what I'm going to do here, this is obviously over the top of the tunnel. I actually bring the hedge much closer to the track, and we're going to put some fencing down here later as well. In the 1960s, you don't see it now, but they used to have white fencing. Not everywhere, but I've certainly seen when the 50s, probably more actually. I've seen some old footage of a train line near where I am, which doesn't exist anymore. And it was a main line. I thought it was all... I didn't realise that Beeching got rid of all the main lines as well, but... and it just had this perfect fields either side, and this white, what looked like a white fence down either side, like a picket fence. It was like, wow, okay. So what you see there is we've started off with the lower resolution sort of scenery, and now we're putting the higher resolution in front of it. We start off with the small bushes and trees and little grassy things at the front, and then we layer it up as we go up the hill. Now, one thing I might have done, I did think of this. Some of the bits along there have inclines, like there, where I was just putting scenery. I could have put water in there, and that might have made it slightly more interesting. Just sort of like, it could look like puddles, for instance. So if I do this again next time, if I have something as an area like this again, which I probably will, so we're gonna have areas which have to be filled. So it's gonna happen. There are gonna be places like that. But it is interesting. Certainly the way I recorded this has changed from the beginning. From the beginning, literally, I would just use the search and search don't stop, and now I started to much more use the pick list there. Because also the pick list on the left, once you've got something, let's say a piece of grass, and then on the search on the right there, you can then just it'll be next to all the other grasses, so you can just go up and down and choose those. It's actually very useful. So that's one thing I will be using next time, is that it's setting up the pick lists, and probably like one for grass, one for bushes, one for trees, and because you can have as many pick lists as you want. Now this is the back where the woods are. I'd hope we come back here. It's not long, but there are trees both sides. And we have actually created a lot more of them now as well. So once again, more grass added to both sides, and the bits here, and sort of more daisies and sort of weeds and things into the fields. On this one, I'm not sure. I probably added too many weeds. So I look at it now and I think there's probably too many weeds there. I think probably the sheep would have ate it, if I'm honest. So next time I probably won't put weeds in the field like that. You know, more editing of the track. Actually, most of this I cut out again. There's no point. I just want, really, is just to give you the essence of what I'm doing. Here we go, fences. We start with a brown fence one side, but most of it's going to be white. I didn't want to put everything white because it used to be, again, it's a bit too uniformed. We'll put some more bushes around that as well. I figured put that in now so we can put stuff around it. I think I made a mistake here. I actually only put that fence up to there. I think I should probably put it all the way up to the end. And I also think the tracks are probably, when I put the tracks in, they're quite far apart from each other. It felt right at the time, but now it looks like I've used too much space probably. So next time I might make the tracks a bit closer together. This looks like a racehorse. It reminds me of a racehorse. Sort of the fence you get, you know, with a racehorse track. But actually, once it's in and you've got the bushes around it, I think it looks quite nice. Again, I suppose it would. All the way down to the bridge. Now once again, lots of scenery all the way around it, long grasses and things, so it all merges in. Now you might notice on the some sort of dead grass there, that's painting. I've just painted that on, just changed the texture there. Now I'm pretty sure I changed the texture all around the track area as well. I found a slightly better one which matches the track a bit more as well. So the ballast on the track does match what's underneath a little bit more, so you don't notice the differences. Now off camera down here I do actually put a load more bushes in as well. Because actually once again I ride on the train, and as soon as I ride on it, I look to the side and I thought, oh. I think it also is when you put the cameras on. If you're looking from above, it looks fine. Once you've got a camera right in there, you start looking at it. Because I've put a lot of the cameras ground level. And actually, putting the cameras in is quite interesting. Because, anyway, I'd mentioned to someone that I was going to put these across here. Sorry, I forget your name. I do apologise. Right, we're actually not doing grass right now. It's amazing. So, this area is seen. I wasn't originally going to put any scenery in here. But it was annoying me. Every time I went past with a train, there was nothing there. And it's just, again, the uniformity of it I don't like. Because, different people, in theory, own these houses and live in these houses. They would put them however they want. So, some might have paths, some might have sheds, some might washing or something. And later on I put some really large trees in there because I figured that there's going to be one person in this house who think put a massive tree is a great idea. So I figured, why not? It actually doesn't look too bad. I go raise it up a little bit. Do you remember it's off the ground? It's not. The ground sort of gradually slopes off in reality there. And once again, I would love it if the game actually had a way of actually putting ground level straight down up, rather than slowly going down. I've not found a way of doing that. That would make putting this in a lot easier, because it technically would be ground level every time, rather than having to put something away over where the road is, where it is ground level, and then moving it across. But that's my only little niggle. It's only a tiny one. There you go. See the lights there? I don't think they were reused. On the platform, I mean. I think they're quite big and chunky. I don't think they'd be used in reality on a platform, but I think they look good, so I quite like them. Another path. As you see, you still have to raise it up. I do notice with the spline, once you set a height, it stays there, but if you actually set a height on just an individual item, it goes down with the height of the train, if you see what I mean. Whereas on the spline tends to actually stay at whatever height you set it to. So it's interesting how the height tool works. You watch this, it's now it goes down. Again, someone thought it's a great idea to put a massive greenhouse in there. But this guy thought, just a little one. Reading his paper. No, not quite sure what I was doing. Oh, that's it. I was trying to pull a path across. I thought he had a path. Now off camera, someone had noticed that I was moving other bits of scenery about when I was trying to put paths and stuff in. So I have taken the hint, I have created a different layer, and I have locked the other layer down. So thank you for that tip. That's why I'm able to actually move this stuff about and not actually touch anything else. Now, I knew about layers, but I just never bothered to use them. You'll notice this grass is slightly higher than the train there, which you don't notice it on the train or anywhere when you're just generally looking, but when you're above it like this, then you do notice it. But I tried to lower it down. It's difficult. Bits of it lower and other bits don't, and I gave up in the end. So I think we're going to have one more set of flowers in a different garden there. Yeah, I think it's 2 gardens over where the path is, I think. I think I'll turn it around first. I've done that already. So it doesn't fit there because we've got the door. Is it 1 garden over? I thought I'd put it 2 over. Okay. So all potted plants. Quite low resolution things, but I think they give a great effect though. I've used over in the village quite a bit. I think I put 1 in there. Yes, I put 1 across there. Oh no, I put it all the way over there. Okay. Now what we put in now are these trees. Now it's not that one we use. I think slightly higher. We do a search. Something very silly, you know, really big, overly big. Because as I say, someone's going to think that's a good idea to put that in. You know, cutting the light away from their own home, the next door's homes. Now these are cherry trees, but I've set it to springtime where it's blossoming. And it's always going to be springtime here, because I like that colour. See, doesn't that look much better now? But we're going to put some more trees in now, in different places. As I've got the bug to do that right now, so, yeah, why not? What we're going to put in? Oh yes, some elms. We'll head down the other end as well. We're going to put a few trees like oaks and things down the other end near the village as well. European beech. Just raise it up a little bit, turn it round. I think, yeah, we keep it near the border. A couple more up here, I think, yes. But I think the trees, you know, there are trees everywhere in reality, so little things like this do make it. So a few more over here. Can we put any in over here? We might do. Yes, a couple of smaller ones. I think they look more like, honestly, they're more like weeds than maples, but I think there's a slightly larger one in there. Not that one though. I think if I turn this around, I do, so the cars can get by. So we're down the other end now. As I say, we put some oaks in here. That's what most stately homes have, oaks. And that's it for the build though. This is what it looks like. This is the finished product, guys. So, what do you think? Now, I'm going to give you a better view next episode. And we'll have a look around and then we'll watch some trains go. So you have a proper look at how it actually ends up looking. But I'm very happy with it. But thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, please press the like button. If you'd like to watch more, got the whole series to watch again if you want. Please subscribe, and if you press that ding dong bell, it even tells you when I put more episodes on. And there will be more after this, don't worry. It's going to be a new series coming very, very soon. Cheers guys, bye bye.